Hello, I'm Esther Bartkiw, a facilitator of energy processes, holistic therapy, spiritual mentoring, conscious creation, and spirit journey retreat leader. I'm a digital nomad with a lust for life, travel, and helping people on their soul's journey of ascension. What you're about to listen to is a one-on-one personal session I held with Diane. Diane presented with the issue of not being able to digest the incoming waves of energy from the cosmos. My intention of sharing this session, with permission from Diane, is to show you that inner work works and that a dynamic session can facilitate interchange quickly. Perhaps as you are listening, you will be inspired or have an aha, a realization, new conscious awareness for yourself that stimulates change in the moment. Maybe you will resonate with something that Diane is experiencing and use the information for your own personal work. I trust you will learn that often what presents as symptom is surface level, and to effect deep change, getting to the core of the issue is key, which we accomplish in this process. I also want to share with you how I conduct personal sessions with my clients to give you a sense of my work. As you will learn, we go deep and create change in the moment. Personal one-on-one sessions allow me to get specific with the person I am working with and address directly the answers coming through. I could do the same process with several people having the same issue of trouble digesting the waves of energy, and each session would be different, with different beliefs, patterns, thoughts attached. During sessions, core belief engineering, the technique that changed my life, the technique I have been trained and certified in, is used as the foundation of the work. And then I make the sessions my own unique process by including conscious and subconscious conversation, energy work, channeling, intuitive flashes, coaching, and from time to time, when guided, light language. You can find out more about my sessions, services, and upcoming travel retreats that I call spirit journeys on my website, whispersfromthesoul.com. And please, once you have listened to the session, write a comment below. Tell me your takeaway or an aha or realization that you had. I would love to hear from you. And with that, let's get started. Good. So we're here today to talk about trouble. Your words were trouble digesting the energies.
Yes.
So let's start off with some conscious talk. And tell me a little bit about when you say I'm having trouble digesting the energies, what do you mean by that specifically?
Okay. I noticed after your solstice call in 2017 for the summer solstice, I started getting like a rash on my wrist, and then kind of went to my neck, and I noticed that essential oils I used to use were irritating me now. Then I got the rash on around my ankles and feet, more kind of like an eczema kind of thing. My wrist and ankle, my wrist and neck are fine now. I still have it a little bit on my ankles, but I noticed that when there are certain solar flares going on or certain things that I get from spaceweather.com, it gets worse. And like we flew to Ireland in September of that year, and we flew pretty high, and I noticed when the plane landed, my socks were stuck to my feet because they were oozing. It was really kind of gross. And so I figured that's the radiation, it's the energy's coming in. And then also my digestion has been off since that time. So it's kind of like, and I know they're all good energies. I know they're important. There's nothing bad going on. But my body's response to them is not what I would like it to be. And, for example, certain times of the day I'll suddenly get really really jittery, like I've had too much caffeine, and I don't do much caffeine at all. And I realize, okay, something else is coming in. How can I process it better than having to feel it so much in my body?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. And what makes you feel that this, the rashes, the jittering, the digestion issues are a result of the waves of energy and not something else going on, like a chemical reaction or an allergy or something that you ate?
I think they're all interrelated because foods I used to eat, I don't digest very well now, so I'm eliminating some of them and working with that. It's almost like these new energies are raising the vibration that old toxins in my body need to leave. And I think that's what the rash is toxins leaving. That's kind of my belief system, and also the digestion. It's like this food is no longer good for me at this point in time. So I think it's just ramping everything up so quickly that I feel like I won't say I'm overloading myself, but it's just like, is there an easier way to let this go?
Okay. All right. So you have a good handle on it. And you've noticed this since you said summer solstice, so that's June 2017. So when you feel this, when you get jittery, when a rash comes up, when you're like, oh, there's this wave of solar wind coming and my digestion's off, what do you do? How do you address it? How do you cope with it? What are your current strategies?
Okay. My less healthy one is to have a drink, like, a glass of wine or something. But if it's in the middle of the day, what I will do is typically go outside and just kind of move my body, kind of like not jump up and down, but kind of shake the body and just kind of reground myself, or vacuum the house. I'll clean the house. It's like moving helps to move it quicker.
Okay.
Versus just trying to sit still and ground.
Yeah.
So that's one of my main strategies is moving.
Yeah, physical activity is so good for, infusing and releasing energies and just getting them to flow through. So I like that you go outside, you move the body, you jump up and down on the ground. Okay, good. Does that work?
Well, one thing, it gets my mind off of it, because if I'm moving, I don't feel it so much.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not sure if it really helps move it, but at least it gets my mind off of it.
Okay, so it gets your mind off of it. What about the vacuuming? Is it again getting your mind off of it, or can you feel it releasing?
Well, it's kind of twofold. Since I have two dogs, I have a lot of dog hair, and they bring in leaves and grass and stuff. So it's almost like physically cleaning my space also cleans my body.
Okay. Yes, and we know that to be true, right? Because we always say, declutter your house and you declutter on the inside, right? Because everything's connected. So that absolutely makes sense. And how does the glass of wine help?
It kind of calms down the nervous system. I thought my nervous I thought my nervous system is on overdrive sometimes with the energies. That's it in a nutshell.
Okay. And are there other ways that you consciously are aware of that you could calm your nervous system without taking like wine, or some people, not you, but, some people could take drugs or a prescription or, eat sugar. Is there other ways you could calm the nervous system other than the wine?
One thing I've really started doing, I like to weave. So if I'm weaving, I have to focus on it. Or I've also done what I call a cooking challenge, where I make something I've never made before one day a week. And I have to really focus on it because it's not automatic. So I guess it's being in the now moment. If I can do that more, it really helps.
Well, I think you really hit on something, because everything you said that, when you go outside and jump up and down, it gets your mind off of it. When you're vacuuming, again, you're focused in the moment because you've got all the dog hair you've got to vacuum up, right? And when you're weaving and you're doing your cooking challenges, again, you're really, really present. So, finding healthy ways, supportive ways to be present in the moment and get your mind off of it seems to, be good tools to have there in your toolbox when this comes up.
Right.
Okay, but we're also going to turn within and see what's going on the subconscious level, so we can check to see what inner shifts we can make as we're doing outward changes. All right, so that's the issue. This is the concern. This is why we have gathered here today. So what is the change that you would like specifically? What are you going for?
When you were talking just a second ago, all these little monkeys are jumping right in my mind. So I think calming the mind, calming the monkey mind, and just really be in this now moment all the time instead of worrying about the future, worrying about something I did in the past. Like just in this now moment, everything's really pretty good.
Yeah, it is. You don't have to, there's no reflection on yesterday, and you're not worrying about what's coming tomorrow because you're just right here.
Right. And as I say that, I feel my solar plexus kind of turning up a little bit. So it's what I want, but it's not really what I do.
Right. What about, because we're here because the presenting issues is the trouble digesting the new energies coming in. What is the change that you would like to see? We're getting a sense consciously of how, you can facilitate digesting the energies, right? Being present in the moment. But what is the change that you would like to see specifically in regards to this, and I'm air quoting, digestion of the energies?
My body being totally healthy and being basically able to eat whatever I want to. And I mean good choices. I don't mean junk food. But and be okay to process it.
Okay. But beyond food, beyond food, what about the energies coming in? Because that's why we're here. I'm having trouble digesting the energies. So what is the change you would like to see in regards to that area?
It's like let it flow through me and not getting stuck in me. As I perceive, stuck is like having a harder time processing them. Just know they're there and accept them and just go with it instead of fighting, not fighting against them. That's not the right word. Well, maybe it is the right word. Yeah. Instead of resisting them, let them flow through.
Okay. I'm going to continue speaking with you on a conscious level because you and I have worked together before, and I've said many times we have to be really consciously clear about what we want to see happen in order for the interchange to happen. Otherwise, our subconscious, our parts go, wait a minute, you don't even know what you want. How are you asking me to change, right? And prior to the session, I always sit, I meditate on it, I see what additional information I can get prior to. And you just touched on one of the questions I wanted to ask the subconscious part, but I feel it's really appropriate right now. I'm getting ding, ding, ding to ask you so that you can be clear about it first. Okay. So you said, when I asked you, what is the change that you would like rather than digesting the energies? And you said, I would like to flow with them. And one of the questions prior to the session I wrote down was, let's start here. Where did you learn, or who told you that you had to digest the energies?
It just kind of came up. It was just a self-thought. Okay,
it was a self-thought. And for you consciously, because you said, I'd rather flow with them. So consciously, Diane, for you, what's the difference between digesting and flowing with the energies?
Oh, that's interesting. Digesting is taking them on in me. Flowing is almost like you're standing in a beautiful stream that's flowing by you. You don't take all that stream in. You just let it go on by.
Exactly. Right. This is very important here. Why am I digesting the energies when I'm just a container and I could allow the energies to flow through me, do what they need to do inside of me, and flow right out, right, until the next wave comes in.
Oh, I like that. And my solar plexus went, I kind of...
Yes.
Itself.
Yes, but there's this part of you that feels like it's got to digest them. So it needs, some updating, some upgrading, all of that. So we'll do that. But just to create more conscious clarity, do you feel it is possible to allow the energies to flow through you rather than resist them or digest them or hold on to them? Do you feel that's possible?
I do, and what crossed my mind just now is I have this responsibility, I feel, to fix the world and everybody in the world, and I don't.
No.
It's like, and so I don't have to digest them for somebody else. I don't have to fix anybody else.
Good.
And just
Good.
take this really deep breath down, just go, just let all that go.
Excellent. Good realization. Good realization. And when you have that realization, I don't have to fix the world. I don't have to fix anything for anybody else. I can just let them go. How does that make you feel?
My shoulders relaxed, but there's a feeling of sadness, too, because, quote, unquote, that's my job, is what I heard.
Okay. All right. So your subconscious is already speaking. Just let that part of you know, just say, hey, sweetheart, I hear you. We're coming. We're going to come and talk to you. We're going to address this sadness. We just want to get a little bit more conscious clarity. And so you do believe it's possible for the energies to flow through you. It's something that you would rather have. So let us set the intention together that not only during this inner work that we are going to continue to do, that we're going to help you to be more in the present, because we've already established consciously that being present is important for allowing the energies to flow, and that you don't have to digest them. You can let them flow, and there is a difference. There is a difference. Okay, so let's hold that as an intention, as where we're going to work. And if it feels okay for you, Diane, just close your eyes. And we're just going to jump right in. I sense that you're already grounded, so I'm not going to ground you right now. And I want you to just silently ask inside, would the part of me that felt a little bit of sad, that part of me that's responsible for digesting the energies, please come forward and speak with me in my consciousness. And when you have a response, let me know.
It's the little girl part of me.
Okay.
Like 2 to 3 years old.
Okay.
Maybe 4, but young.
So just welcome her. Just say hello. And focus in on her. I'm going to guide you through a conversation with this part of you, this part of your subconscious. I'm going to ask you some questions. I'd like you to silently ask those questions inside of yourself, and the very first response that you get back, whether it's a word, a phrase, or an image like you just had, or a feeling or a sensation go through your body, just trust what's happening. Report to me what you're experiencing, and I'll follow it up with another question. And before we start this conversation with her, you have this image of little you around 2, 3, 4. Where do you sense or feel this little girl showing up in your body?
In my heart.
Okay.
It's like a heart sad feeling.
Oh. So just place your hands on your heart there for a moment. Maybe give it just like a little gentle rub and let this part know that you sense and feel it there in the heart, a little bit sad. And the first question I'd like you to ask it, is there anything you need, part, to feel more comfortable to have this communication with me, Diane?
She climbed in my lap.
Okay, so let her climb in the lap.
A hug.
Okay, good. And if that's okay with you, give her a hug.
Oh, and a glass of chocolate milk.
Okay, good. Give her that chocolate milk. Use your imagination, your visualization, and let her receive. And what happens? What do you notice about her as you nurture her, hug her, give her this chocolate milk? What do you notice?
She relaxed and fell asleep.
Okay.
She felt safe.
Okay.
So she could really let go and just be safe.
Okay. So we need to talk to her because she's the focus of our process. So let's see if you can gently awaken her.
It's interesting. I said, I'll take you on a pony ride and we can talk. So she's on the back of a little pony I'm leading around.
Okay, good. And let her know that she'll have time for naps and for sleeping. But right now, having this conversation is important to you because you want to know more about her.
Perfect.
And let me know if she's in agreement with that.
She's shaking her head, yes.
Okay. Thank her for that. All right. So let's begin asking her some questions. And so ask this little girl, how old was I, Diane?
3.5.
When we didn't even finish the question. Wow. What is she anticipating? What's the question she was anticipating?
When something scared her, when something really changed her world.
Okay. So thank her for that information and ask her, what scared you when I was 3.5 that changed your world? What scared her?
I thought my parents were going to break up.
Okay. And ask her what led her to this conclusion that, oh no, my parents might break up.
It's like she's standing on a railroad track holding both their hands and not letting them move away from each other.
Okay. So thank her for that image and ask her, how does the image relate to what was going on that she moved to the conclusion that parents were going to break up?
It was an inner feeling, a knowing.
Okay. And when she had that inner feeling and knowing of, oh no, my parents are going to break up, what decision did she make at that time?
It's my job to keep them together in responsibility.
Okay. And ask her, where did she learn or who told her it was her job to keep parents together?
She said it's just what you do.
Okay. And where did she learn that it's just what you do?
She's kind of shaking her head side to side. It's like, I don't know.
Okay.
It just is.
Okay. And ask her, is it possible that maybe it isn't? Because she says it just is. So ask her, is it possible that maybe it isn't her job?
She's shaking her head back and forth. No, it's my job.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. So ask her, what is her job? According to her perception, what is her job specifically?
To make everybody happy.
Everybody happy. Okay.
And that's so funny because I carry that over into my life now.
Okay, yes. Well, let her know that. Say, you know what? I feel that. I feel that your job is to make everybody happy because I'm experiencing that in my day-to-day life. And so ask her, okay, so now she's gotten a little bit more specific. We went from my job is to keep parents together to, my job is to make everybody happy. That's a really big job. Ask her, who gave her that job?
She says I did. I mean, not me, but she gave herself that job.
She gave herself that job. And ask her, when did you give yourself that job?
She said before I was born.
Okay. And ask her, what was her motivation or her intention of giving herself that job?
She says my mommy wasn't happy when she was pregnant with me.
Okay. And when she was in Mommy's tummy and she got that, oh, Mom's not very happy right now, what decision did she make at that time?
It made her very sad, and she didn't want to be sad.
Okay, so what did she do?
Happy, she wouldn't be sad.
Okay. All right. So we still don't know where she learned that from, that it was her job, but she took it on her own, and she took it on her own since the womb. That makes sense to you consciously, Diane?
It does.
Okay. So ask her, if she made this decision in the womb, was it when she was 2, 3, 4 and Mom and Dad were fighting, was when she really took on the role of this decision?
She's saying a little bit before.
A little bit before.
Yeah.
Okay. And ask her, I'm going to stick with the parents fighting because that seems to be a strong memory for her. Mm-hmm. When she saw Mom and Dad fighting, and she knew that she had already made a decision, it's my job to keep everybody happy. How did she carry out that decision? Mom and Dad are fighting.
It wasn't physical fighting. It was an undercurrent.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a knowing, even though it wasn't obvious.
Yeah. So when she's had this knowing that they're fighting, there's this undercurrent going on. She had previously decided it's my job to make everybody happy. She saw this undercurrent of fighting going on. So what did she do? What did she do to keep them happy? What did she do?
She just told me it was her fault they weren't happy.
Okay.
And so she had to be the good little girl to make them happy.
Okay. So one of her strategies is to be the good little girl. And so what would she do to be the good little girl?
She told me to be quiet and not say what she thought.
Okay. And ask her, did that work by being a good little girl, being quiet, not saying what she thought? Did that help to make her parents happy?
She said it just made her sad.
It made her sad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why did it make her sad?
Because she couldn't be who she really was.
Okay. But did it fulfill that requirement of making Mom and Dad happy?
She's saying yes and no.
Yes and no. And when she realized, oh, I'm doing this, I'm being a good little girl, so Mom and Dad are happy. Sometimes they are, but sometimes they're not. When they weren't, what would she do then to make them happy?
Just go in her room and hide.
Okay. And ask her, did that make them happy? Did that work?
She's almost saying she didn't care sometimes. She just needed to protect herself.
She just needed to what herself?
Oh, protect herself.
Protect herself. Okay. So what she was doing to make Mom and Dad happy didn't always work. And in fact, it actually made her sad. Did she realize that?
She says not until now.
Not until now. And so let her sit with that understanding that she felt it was her job to make Mom and Dad happy. She implemented these strategies of being a good little girl, being quiet, not saying what she thought, going to her room. And now she's realizing, yeah, it might have worked a little bit, but it didn't always work. And it made me really sad. It made me feel like I had to go protect myself.
Mm-hmm.
So as she's realizing that, what is she thinking? How does she feel about that?
She says, I'm safe when I hide.
Okay. Safe from what specifically? Ask her.
My solar plexus is kind of jumping again. It's like that feeling the energy. She's safe if she doesn't have to be around them. Okay.
So ask her when she was 2, 3, 4 and she had this feeling of Mom and Dad fighting, was she trying to be a good little girl and make everybody happy so she wouldn't feel the energies?
Yes. Bingo.
Okay. So what was more important to her, making everybody happy or not feeling the energies?
Not feeling the energies.
Okay. So what was her real role?
She's kind of like holding her hands up in the air saying, like, I don't know.
Okay. Could it have been a dual role? I have to keep everybody happy and I don't want to feel the energies? Or I don't want to feel the energies, so I'm going to keep everybody happy?
The second one.
Okay. So when she says, I don't want to feel the energies, what energies does she not want to feel?
It's like a lead weight, a heaviness, a denseness.
And so how would she describe lead weight, dense? I mean, those are really great words. But how would she describe those? What would be the feelings and emotions that would lead to heavy, dead weight, dense energy?
She's telling me that's why she fell asleep. Because it just wore her down.
What wore her down?
The heavy energies. It's like trying to carry them, trying to process them.
Okay. And what are those heavy energies? Ask her if she can, identify them or explain them beyond a heavy, dense energy.
It's like she's kind of crying, saying, I did all I could do. Heavy heart, sadness.
Okay. Heavy heart, sadness. Okay. I don't want to lead her, but I want to get a sense of what this heavy dead weight energies are. Like other things, is it worry? Is it fear? Is it anger? Is it unrest? Is it grief? Is it shame or anything? Or is it simply sadness that she's trying to avoid?
It's like she doesn't feel she's loved. Okay. Could be sadness. If I were better, they would love me more.
Okay. So
I'm taking her off the pony now and hugging her.
Okay, please do. Now, there's a lot of different issues that are coming up here. Okay, I'm going to keep us on track with the digesting of energies and try to weave in as much as possible. Okay, in a 1 hour session, this could be, a time where, looking at another time of feeling not loved and like different areas. So I'm going to do my best to kind of weave that all in, but keep us on track with the digesting of energies. Okay, Diane?
Perfect.
Okay. So she says that her role was to avoid these energies, the heavy, dense energies. She does that by trying to make everybody happy. What about other energies that are not heavy and dense? What does she call those energies?
Sparkles.
Sparkles. And what are sparkles energies? What are those?
Light, kind of like fairies, Tinkerbell, happiness, joy.
Okay. And does she ever experience those energies or feel those energies?
She does.
Okay. And when those energies come, when there's a wave of happy, a wave of sparkles, a wave of this lighter fairy dust energy come through, what does she do with it?
She bathes in it. She just brings it to her whole being.
Okay. And after she's bathed in it, what does she do with them?
She wants to hold on to it.
Ah. Because holding on to it means what?
It feels good.
Okay. If she holds on to those energies, does she allow room for new waves of happiness and sparkles to come in?
It's looking very quizzical. It's like, maybe not. This is really interesting. It's like holding on to all the energies, dense or not dense. Dense or very light. Instead of letting the good ones flow too.
Yes, and what I find, what I believe and what I've been guided towards is that we want our energies and emotions and feelings always to cycle through us, even like the joy and the happiness. Because if you grab onto a wave of happiness and you hold on to it, well, eventually you restrict it and it becomes stale and maybe it takes up energetic space and it doesn't allow for another wave of happiness to come through and another wave of joy to come through. And that we are best served when we're just that open container that allows everything to keep flowing through. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it made me take a really good deep breath.
Yeah. Was she listening when I just said that?
She was.
Does that make sense to her? How does she feel about that? Like even if it's a great, yummy, oh, I love this energy. Sure, you wanna be with it for a while, and maybe it lingers for an hour, maybe it lingers for 4 days, but then just kind of let it go until the next wave comes through. How does she feel about that as a possibility?
She showed me like a piece of chocolate cake. You enjoy it, and then, later on, you have mashed potatoes and gravy that you love. It's like you don't hold on to the chocolate cake. You move on to something else. Beautiful example, tell her. Because if she just held on to that chocolate cake and looked at it, after a day, it's going to get crusty on the outside. You know how it starts to go a little bit hard and the icing gets hard. And then after a week, it's not so good. And after 2 weeks, maybe it gets moldy. And then that, what was once a beautiful, wow, look at this chocolate cake, becomes like, oh. And she'd get tired of it if that's all she had. Yes. Okay, tell her thank you for having that realization. She's a smart little girl. Okay. So she experiences what she calls the heavy, dense energy. She does experience the energies of sparkles and lightness. When the energies of lightness comes in, up until now, she's been holding on to them. And when the heavy energies comes in, she does what she can to
I'm going to make everybody happy, so that goes away. Just ask her if we've got that correct.
Correct.
Okay. And so ask her to reflect, because we've done a lot of conversation here with her. This strategy she has of dealing with both the heavy energies and the lighter energies, does she feel that it's working for her optimally?
No, in fact, she switched it to more like a waterfall of sparkly energy, but then it goes on to somebody else as well, instead of stopping with her.
Okay. So ask her to tell us more about this. First of all, she said she switched it. When did she just switch it?
When you were just talking.
Okay, good. And what motivated her or triggered her to switch from, instead of holding on to the lighter energies, to let them be like a waterfall to go through her and then to someone else? What happened that caused this switch?
The realization that she was also holding on to the lower energies, and she can also let them go through her and not hold on to them. Okay.
Beautiful. So is that something that you think you would like, Diane?
Most definitely.
Okay, so tell her that.
In fact,
say, I like
my cheerleader right now. She's going, you can do it.
Say, good. Say, I like where we're going with this, and ask her if she has this realization, if I just let the energies go through me, what does she feel would be the result of that?
I literally heard the word light body.
Light body. Okay, nice
and
term, beautiful term.
The word light body, higher vibrational body, light body.
Okay. And what ask her, okay, because that's a beautiful term, in day-to-day reality, what does she see could be the outcome or the result of light body?
Just kind of like, I heard her just say like going with the flow. It's kind of like good things might happen, bad things may happen, just let it happen,
Okay. Yeah. And so what would be the result in your day-to-day life if you just let things happen and go with the flow?
Peace.
Peace. Yeah. And wouldn't that make life easier when you're dealing with other people and dealing with work issues and day-to-day tasks and situations arise or a drama arise or a celebration arrives that you just flow with it.
Mhm. We both have a smile on our face now.
Good, good. What's she smiling about? What's the smile for? Ask her.
So I can finally take a deep breath.
Okay, give her permission right now to take that deep breath. Let's move some energy.
And she wants a glass of water. I'm going to give her a glass of water.
Okay, a glass of water. I just want to remind you and her that I'm doing energy work in the background as well to support you. Okay.
I'm going to go get me a glass of water as we're talking.
Okay, good, good. Is she okay with continuing the conversation?
She is.
Okay. So ask her, under this new realization of, I'm going to just treat the energies like a waterfall and let them go through me, whether they're sparkling, whether they are heavy, because I'm going to become this light body, and it'll allow me to go with the flow, and if I can go with the flow, there'll be peace. Awesome. Ask her, by making that switch, what does she see would be the outcome, or what is possible when the next universal wave of energies come through, and they're new and they're different and they haven't been experienced before? By taking this new awareness, by taking this new stance, what does she see as possible when the next wave of solar wind comes through, or the next eclipse comes through? What does she see as possible?
It's almost like her childlike curiosity. Oh, that's interesting.
Okay.
And she showed me an image of like when you said the sparkly energy, and then the heavier dense energy. It was like the mudslide, but it didn't even touch her, just went kind of around her.
Good. So let's just let that mudslide go all the way down. And if there's any mudslide happening now, because she's shifting, she's having new realizations, she's making new choices, her consciousness is opening up. So all those lower vibrations, let them just be like a mudslide and slip off her and into the ground for transmutation. So as she shows you an image of what's possible in the future, she's actually experiencing it right now. And if she takes this new stance, would she have to digest any of the energies?
None of them.
Okay. So if she doesn't have to digest the energies and she's going to let them flow through her, and the heavier ones will be like mud sliding off of her, and the higher ones she's going to enjoy and then also let go. Is there any reason for her body to get rashes?
What's interesting is almost like, and I know this is not something she would know, but it's almost like how mud can cleanse your skin.
Mm-hmm.
It's like these other energies can cleanse what needs to be cleansed in me, and let them do that.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So does that mean that she might get a rash as the toxin's coming up, but the flowing energies, now that the flowing energies are going to help to clear that, or the rashes are not needed at all anymore?
A few more, and then they're done. That's what she said.
Ask her why a few more and then they're done. What is she seeing? She's obviously got some good information there.
I heard the word adjusting more and more each day.
Adjusting what? What's the adjustment specifically she's talking about?
Integrating.
Okay. So integrating the new awarenesses, the new stance, the going with the flow rather than resisting and digesting them. So as that's happening, there may still be some rashes, but once it's integrated, there won't be. Do I have that correct?
Yes, totally.
Okay.
Now
you had
reminding me is that my belief systems are changing.
Yes.
And they're being challenged in a lot of ways.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And it's kind of like letting go of that resistance. The rash is almost like a symbol of the resistance.
Okay.
And yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Sometimes when energies are leaving our body, we have a physical manifestation as they're moving up and out, which is still uncomfortable, but it's fine. It's different than holding on to an energy and having something fester into its physical manifestation. Do you see the difference?
Exactly. It's like before it becomes a big problem, it's releasing.
Okay, good. And so ask her, by going with the flow of the energies, how will that help her actual digestion? You and her, your actual digestion.
Oh. We will eliminate energies better.
And what about the food? The food? Like the actual food?
Exactly. It will take in the nourishment and eliminate what we don't need.
Okay, beautiful. What about the jitteriness? Before, when you had to digest the energies and resist them, and that whole program, there were sometimes jitters. What will happen to the jitters when you just allow all energies just to flow?
I hear just observe.
Observe.
And not judge.
And not judge.
There's something wrong. Just observe.
Okay. So it'll be easier to observe and not judge if you let the energies flow. Is that what she's saying? I don't want to put words in her mouth. I'm just trying to
She's nodding her head.
Okay, I just want to make sure I got a handle on it. Okay, good. Now, if the energies flow, how is that going to affect the nervous system?
It's kind of hard to put in words, but it's like instead of fight or flight, just a deep breath and okay.
Yeah. So will it calm the nervous system
right now.
or soothe it?
I beg your pardon?
The moderator has left the conference.
Oops, sorry, Diane, I got knocked off there.
Okay. Mercury's not quite retrograde, but it's pretty darn close.
Oh, for 24 hours. So what I was saying, I don't know, you could have answered me, but what I was asking was about the nervous system, and would allowing the energies to flow, would it calm and soothe the nervous system, or would it just not trigger the nervous system at all?
Oh.
What does she know?
It's like first one, then the other.
Okay.
First it would soothe it, and then that would become the new moment, the now moment,
right.
The new pattern.
Okay. Yeah, part of the integration, right? We're
Exactly.
so used to a triggered nervous system, so first we'll do the soothing, and then our new norm is going to be like, wow, I let the energies flow, so my nervous system doesn't even get triggered anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay, wow. Well, this shift is really addressing a lot of these issues. So what about staying present in the moment? If you allow the energies to be like a waterfall, the mud to slide away, to allow the energies to flow through and just keep recycling, what happens with being present in the moment? Does it support being present in the moment?
Most definitely, yes.
Most definitely. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. I just want to check to see if we got all the earlier things that we talked about. And so what about the monkey mind? What about the monkey mind? If you allow the energies to flow and be present with them, and the nervous system is calming to the point that it doesn't even get triggered anymore, what happens to the monkey mind? Ask her.
It's like what monkey mind?
Okay, good. Okay. So, excellent. So, how does she feel about everything she's discovering about herself and what is possible?
She's dancing happily.
Okay. And what about you, Diane, consciously? How are you feeling about everything that you're discussing here and seeing?
Really good. Very grounded and just breathing nice, deep, slow breaths.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. So, okay, so let's ask her, because if she's having these realizations, she wants to make these changes, what about this job of hers to make everybody happy? Now, it was put in place as a strategy to deal with the heavy emotions. So, if she allows everything, all the energies to flow through her, and we've seen all the beautiful outcomes of that, does she need that job, that strategy of making everybody happy anymore?
She's shaking her head vigorously no.
Okay, so what does she know? What does she has learned? What does she has realized to say, oh, wow, I don't need to make everybody happy anymore because I'm not trying to hide from energies because they're flowing through me. What was the connections that she was making?
It's kind of like by just being me and with the energies flowing, it'll help anybody anyway. Just by being in my space.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a huge realization for this little girl to have, right? You know, there's a lot of adults who are still, you know, thinking they've got to do all of this for other people. Instead, if you just be you in your light and in your energy, you can't help but be a positive influence on everyone else.
Well said, yes.
Okay, beautiful. So she doesn't need that role that she was taking on it was self-imposed of making everybody happy. She doesn't need that anymore. Can she let that role slide off of her like that mud?
It's funny. I just sound like a roll of toilet paper unrolling itself.
Okay, good. Let's just let that go, and I'm going to do some energy work in the background to also help with that. Okay, so that's good. And there was something else I wanted to follow up on. Was her role to make everybody happy? Oh, well, you know, it's so interesting. Yes. She, at one point, she said that when she decided to be a good little girl, well, that worked sometimes with, you know, and that was another strategy. So let that be part of the toilet paper roll, rolling away. I've got to be this good little girl to make everybody happy as a strategy. She said that it made her sad because it didn't allow her to be who she truly was. So if she allows the energies to flow and she doesn't have to take on this role of making everybody happy, does she get to be who she truly is?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
Right. And because she lives inside of you, does that allow you, Diane, to be who you truly are?
Yes.
Okay,
That's
fantastic. Oh, beautiful. Hug her back and see, now we're getting all the different points. Remember I said I'm going to stick to the energies, but we're going to weave all of this other stuff in, so everything is coming into play. And there was one other point that she made, and she said she didn't feel loved, and that brought her sadness. And so ask her, going through, because she's been shifting over these last 60 minutes, she's been shifting. Where does she feel now on that subject of being loved?
She says, I love myself, and that's all that counts.
Okay. And ask her, does she feel your love?
She does.
Okay. And would she be willing to receive your love?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you willing to receive her love, Diane?
Definitely.
Okay, let her know that. Let her know that. So not only are we making it easier for her to digest, you know, no longer digesting the energies, that they can flow. She doesn't have to hold on. She doesn't have to resist. You know, the physical manifestations of food digestion, of rashes, of jitteriness, that is all eventually going to go away. She doesn't have to take on, the weight of the world of making everybody happy anymore. She gets to be her true self. She's just discovered she loves herself, and also she has the love of you and you of her.
It's
wow.
like I heard the phrase, 2 hearts beat as one now.
Okay, beautiful. And so just to facilitate a little bit extra of that, I'm going to invoke the sacred geometry of the infinity symbol, and I'm going to loop one end around your heart and one end around hers, and yours and hers, and we're going to just bring in a beam of the highest vibrations available to us on the planet right now of source energy to just move into the middle of the fulcrum point of that infinity symbol. And just bringing the two of you together in harmony, no more separation, but also infusing you with this pure source energy. Wow, 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 just harmonizing. So ask her, is there anything else that you can help her with right now?
She just threw her arms up in the air and said, like outstretched and said, I love life.
Okay. Good. And ask her, because her old role was to make everybody happy. what would be her new role inside of you as a very special part of you?
To make me happy by being me.
Being me. Now that's still implying that she has to make somebody happy.
It's like she's happy being who she is.
Right.
And I'm being happy who I am.
Okay. And when she's happy being who she is inside of you, will that like radiate and pulse out into you? So just like when you're a big ball of light walking down the street, you can't help but have an effect on everybody else. By her being happy with who she is and herself, it can't help but not affect you in a positive way.
Exactly.
Okay, beautiful. So so her role is just going to be being her true self. Does that sound about right?
That sounds perfect.
Okay. And ask her, how can you, Diane, because this is going to be new to her because she was trying to be something else for other people all of these years. Ask her, how can you, Diane, support her in the learning and the discovering and the experiencing and the living of her true self? How can you, Diane, help her?
By smiling at life.
Smiling at life. What does that mean? Ask her.
It means just choose to be happy.
Okay. So she's going to take on this new role of being her true self, letting the energies flow. She's not going to get in the way of that anymore. All the old limitations have gone by way of the mudslide. And all she's asking from you is to smile at life. Is that something you're willing to do, Diane?
Yes, I will do my best.
Let her know that.
Yep.
Let her know that. And if there's any other way you can support her moving forward, tell her all she has to do is come and ask. And give her permission right now to start this new role of, sweetheart, just be your true self.
Yes, he's kind of dancing around.
Okay.
In a good way, a nice way, a fun way.
Yeah. Yeah. And also give her permission in her own time and way to begin to grow up from that 2, 3, 4-year-old and meet you at your current age on the current timeline so that the two of you can fully move into alignment together. Is she in agreement with that?
Completely.
Okay. And give her permission to enjoy, everything along the way.
Exactly. It's like I'm telling her to flow along the way with things that weren't so happy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So she's got to move through that timeline now from 2, 3, 4 to where you are at your current age. And she's got the benefit now is that she just gets to flow with all of that rather than get stopped or obstacles or stuck or
caught up in it, right?
So, yeah, so she's going to grow up and meet you at your current age real soon. So, okay, that is beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Okay, I think we've got just about everything. Just ask her if she feels complete.
Yes, she does.
And do you feel complete? Like we've tied together all these loose ends and we're moving forward. Yeah, and right, and we're moving forward according to, all the intentions that we set out at the beginning, to be in the flow, to be in the present moment, to calm the monkey mind, to have body health. Yeah, we covered everything. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. All right, beautiful. So what I'd love you to do is the two of you just have a beautiful hug. This is going to be a hug of like, yes, we're in agreement, we're in alignment, we're working together now, we're working together for the greater good of each separately, but also for the whole. knowing that the world and everybody that you come in contact with also be blessed.
That was wonderful.
And as you're doing that, I'm just going to do a big flush of energies just to flush out any other lower vibrations, whether it was a thought, a belief, a patterning, an emotion, a concept of reality, a decision or conclusion, or somebody else's influence. Let's just flush that so we can have a complete turnover, big paradigm shift happening here. Good. And then breathe in with me the beautiful energies coming in straight from source, from the galactic core, including that vibration of pure divine love, just to fill you up, fill up those spaces, fill you up from toes to the top of the head, and then spilling over into your auric field. And then I'd like both of you just to take a beautiful deep breath in. And hold that breath for a second or two as we lock in the changes that have happened here today. Set it all into motion now. And so it is.
Oh, that was lovely. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yes, it was. You can open your eyes, bring your awareness back into the room. Okay. So Diane, I just want to ask you, you went through this process. You had some conscious awakening here. We obviously did a transformation of this inner part of you. What are you looking forward to now? What do you see is possible? What are you excited about in regards to what's happened here?
Enjoying life.
Yeah.
Just as it is.
Yeah.
Moment by moment.
Not having to digest the energies.
Correct.
Just letting them flow through. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, Diane, so just a little bit of instruction at the end. Just allow these energies to integrate. I know you're really good at that. Stay in contact with this little girl. Watch her as she grows up. If you need something from her, go talk to her. If she comes a calling and says, Diane, I need a little help here, take that time to sit and be with her and listen to her. And as the two of you continue to come into oneness. And what I would love you to do in a couple of weeks, please, I know you're always so good at sending me updates, which I love. Send me an update. And tell me, what you're noticing, as energies come in, as solar winds come in, as situations arise in your life, what you're noticing as a result of her just now being her true self. Okay?
I will be happy to do that. Okay.
Beautiful. All right, Diane. Well, this was fantastic. What a way to start your day.
My week.
Yes, your week, of course. So you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay, thank you. Bye, you too.
Okay, bye, Diane.
Bye.